Hey folks, welcome back to yet another episode of Yash Dubal's Book Club. The book we are reviewing today is Thinking 101. So, this is How to Reason Better to Live Better. It's a book by Ahn Woo-kyoung, a psychology professor at Yale who explores the systematic cognitive biases that leads us to make poor decisions and provides practical strategies to overcome them. The book is structured around 8 key thinking errors. So, we'll see these 8 errors on the other side of this video. Alright, so thinking error number 1, the fluency effect. We often mistake ease of processing for actual competence. When we see someone perform a task effortlessly, we believe we can do it too, failing to account for the invisible effort required. So Ahn describes an experiment where participants watched a video of someone performing a complex card trick. Those who watched the video 20 times were much more confident that they could perform the trick themselves than those who watched it once, even though their actual ability to perform the trick did not improve at all. The author cites various such examples, one from her class as well, whereby she would show just a 6-second clip of a dance step and people who watched it frequently would be very comfortable and say, yes, I can do this easily. The second error, confirmation bias. We naturally seek out, interpret, and remember information that confirms our existing beliefs while ignoring contradictory evidence. The book discusses how we pre-screen information. If you believe a certain diet is healthy, you will notice every success story related to it and ignore medical reports about its risks. This creates a feedback loop that makes our original, potentially flawed belief feel like an objective truth. The third error, causal attribution. Humans are meaning-making machines. We have a desperate need to find a why for every what, often leading us to see patterns or causes where none exist. The author states an example whereby when a player performs exceptionally well in their first year and then averages out the next, fans look for causal reasons like partying, loss of focus, etc. In reality, it is often just regression to the mean, a statistical inevitability rather than a causal event. The fourth thinking error, the planning fallacy. We consistently underestimate how much time, money, and effort a project will take because we imagine the best case scenario and ignore potential friction. A very nice example for this is the construction of the Sydney Opera House. It was originally estimated to cost $7 million and take 6 years. However, it ended up costing $102 million and taking 14 years. We fail to account for unknown unknowns. The fifth thinking error, framing effect. Our decisions are heavily influenced by how information is presented or framed rather than the information itself. Example, medical world. Patients are much more likely to agree to a surgery if they are told there is a 90% survival rate than if they are told there is a 10% mortality rate, even though the statistics are identical. The sixth error, loss aversion and sunk cost. We feel the pain of a loss twice as strongly as we feel the joy of an equivalent gain. This leads us to stick with bad investments or relationships because we have already spent so much on them. A very nice example is we overeat at buffets to avoid wasting the entry fee, prioritizing a perceived financial gain over our actual physical comfort. By trying to recoup a sunk cost, we end up losing twice, once in money and once in well-being. The seventh error, affective forecasting. We are surprisingly bad at predicting how we will feel in the future. We overestimate how happy a promotion will make us and how miserable a breakup will make us. Example, studies have shown that lottery winners and people who have suffered debilitating accidents often return to a similar baseline of happiness after a year. We ignore our own psychological resilience and the hedonic treadmill. The eighth error, empathy gaps. We struggle to understand the mental states of others or even our own future selves when we are not currently in that same state. Example is the curse of knowledge. Once we know something, it is almost impossible to imagine what it was like not to know it. This makes experts terrible at teaching beginners because they can no longer see the hurdles that a novice faces. So what are some practical advices from this book? To combat these biases, the author suggests the pre-mortem. Before starting a project, imagine it has failed and work backward to figure out why. Wait to decide. Let hot emotional states cool down before making major life choices. And then check the outside view. Instead of asking how long will it take me, ask how long does this usually take most people. That's it from this book. It's quite an interesting book. I hope you liked it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Take care.